Good afternoon, all of you. Today we will discuss some problems based on the concepts we learned on alternating currents. For example, you see this question. As per the question, when a coil is connected to a 100 volts DC supply, the current is 2 amperes. When the same coil is connected to AC source, EMF or voltage is given by 100 root 2 sin omega t. The current is 1 ampere. Find the inductive reactance used in the circuit. Find the inductive reactance used in the circuit. This is the question. The solution is very simple. In DC circuit, whenever you want current, voltage by resistance, DC current means capital I, generally we will write, which implies R is equal to V by I. Voltage value is 100 volts, current value is 2 amperes, so 50 ohms is the resistance. 50 ohms is the resistance. Whereas in AC circuit, whenever you want current, if you want IRMS, you should take VRMS by Z, impedance. Okay. They gave the current is 1 ampere. They did not mention whether it is instantaneous value or average value or something. If nothing is mentioned, that current should be taken as RMS current. So IRMS is 1 ampere. So 1 is equal to VRMS is V naught by root 2, and the coil only connected here, the reactance is given by only impedance as well as resistance. So you should take XL square plus R square over root will be the formula for impedance. Peak value of voltage 100 root 2 by root 2 into square root of XL square plus R square value, the resistance we calculated as 50 square. So this root 2 gets cancelled. 100 can be written as 10 square, or otherwise root over XL square plus 2500 is equal to 100. If I remove this, you will get 10,000 here. So XL square is equal to 10,000 minus 2,500, so you will get 7,500. That implies XL is equal to square root of 7,500. It is 3 into 50 root 3 ohms. Units are ohms. This is the solution for the given question. Clearly, you should understand the value of given current is RMS value of the current. And the circuit consists of a coil, that means inductance, and obviously it is having some resistance. So LR circuit. In LR circuit, impedance is given by square root of XL square plus R square. By knowing that value, we can solve this problem very easily. Let us move on to the next problem. Next question. If the reading of voltmeter is 40 volts, if the reading of voltmeter is 40 volts, what is the reading of voltmeter V1 is 40 volts. What is the reading of voltmeter V2 in the given circuit? The circuit diagram is like this. Here is voltmeter V2, whose reading we need to find. It is connected across the resistor, and inductor is like this. So the circuit they gave like this. V1, both are connected to AC source like this. This voltage is across the inductor, this voltage is across the resistor. You are given that 50 root 2 sin omega t is the input voltage. So from this, peak value of voltage is 50 root 2. V naught by root 2 is nothing but VRMS 50 volts. As per the given question, voltage across the inductor is 40 volts. Voltage across the inductor is 40 volts. Therefore, voltage across the resistor, this is the resistor of resistance, reading of V2, reading V2, is equal to voltage across resistor. So whenever we want voltage across resistance, current in the circuit into the value of resistance I should take. But clearly, applied voltage must be equal to voltage across resistor plus voltage across inductor. So voltage across resistor can also be taken as applied voltage minus voltage across inductor. Applied voltage, nothing but they did not mention anything here, so it is RMS voltage. So 50 minus voltage across inductor is 40. So that is 10 volts. Voltage across resistor is, am I correct? Generally, we do the problem like this. But it is wrong. Why? Voltage across the inductor and voltage across the applied source will not be in the same phase. Voltage across inductor leads by an angle pi by 2. Hence, we should not follow this procedure. So, what sort of procedure we should follow? Suppose there is no phase difference between voltage across resistor and applied voltage. Only there is a phase difference between voltage across inductor and voltage across applied voltage. So, net voltage is like this, as they are perpendicular to each other. Voltage across inductor, suppose if it is like this, voltage across, resistor is like this, means inductor is like this. There is a 90 degrees phase difference. So, the resultant is given by square root of VR square plus VL square. So, this procedure is wrong. You have to go for square root of voltage across resistor means V2 square, voltage across inductor means 40 square. So, that is equal to 50, which implies V square plus 40 square is equal to 50 square. V square is equal to 30 square. 50 square means 40 square is 30 square. So, V is equal to 30 volts. This is the right answer. We should take phase difference into consideration. Without considering phase, if you do the problem like this, it will give wrong result. Okay? So, we should take voltage across inductor and voltage across resistor. They are having a phase difference of pi by 2. So, due to that phase difference, the effective voltage in the circuit is given by square root of VR square plus VL square. That you should take into consideration. One more question. As per the question, an iron cored coil is connected in series with an electric bulb. When with an AC source as shown in figure. As the iron piece is taken out of the coil, how will the brightness of the bulb changes? How will the brightness of the bulb changes? So this is a coil. Actually air core is there. Inside that air core we kept this iron bar, and hence it is called iron cored coil, which is connected to a bulb like this, which are connected to AC source. Now on removal of this iron core or iron rod from the core of the coil, what will be the effect of brightness? So you studied about inductance coil. The self-inductance of the coil depends on the permeability of the medium. So when you remove the iron core, iron is having good permeability. When permeability of the medium decreases, inductance of the coil also decreases. When inductance decreases, what will happen? Already we studied it. Impedance in the circuit is nothing but square root of XL square plus R square. So current passing through the circuit is applied voltage by impedance. Applied voltage by XL means L square omega square plus R square. We are not changing R. We are not changing omega. We are not going to change L. We are decreasing L value. When L value is decreasing, current passing through the bulb increases, hence the brightness of the bulb increases. So the solution is like this. As the iron rod is taken out, the self-inductance of the coil decreases. As self-inductance of the coil is decreasing, impedance of the coil decreases. Hence, Z of coil decreases. When impedance decreases, strength of the current increases, hence power consumed increases. In turn, increases the power consumed by the bulb. Hence, brightness of bulb increases. This is the solution for this question. The bulb will glow with much brightness upon removal of this iron piece from the core of the inductance coil. This is the solution for the question. One more question. A circuit has a resistance of 30 ohms. And Inductive reactance of 40 ohms in series. These are connected to an AC source of peak current. One ampere. And peak voltage 220 volts. What is the power consumed in the circuit? What is the power consumed in the circuit? Solution. Power consumed P is given by half E naught I naught cos phi, or V naught I naught by 2 into cos phi. Cos phi is called power factor. You can calculate cos phi value R by Z. You are given the resistance value 30, the inductive reactance they gave, impedance is root of XL square plus R square, so 30 by square root of 40 square plus 30 square. So 40 square plus 30 square is 50 square, over root will give 50 as the result here, 0 0 gets cancelled. Phi value is cos inverse 3 by 5, or cos phi value is 3 by 5. So clearly peak current value I naught they gave 1 ampere, peak voltage E naught they gave 220 volts. Suppose if I substitute them here, half into 220 into 1 into 3 by 5. So it will go for 110, it will go for 22. So 66 watts is the power consumed. 66 watts is the power consumed. So this is the solution for the question. Let me solve one more problem. Next problem is an AC voltage is applied to a resistance hundred ohms, represented by E is equal to 200 sine 100 pi t, where t is in seconds. What is the average power consumption? What is the average power consumption? Solution. Power consumption P is equal to half into E naught into V naught into cos phi. Otherwise, ERMS into I naught, IRMS into cos phi. We discussed this. Here it is a pure resistive circuit. So impedance is resistance itself. Impedance is resistance itself. Hence cos phi is equal to R by Z, Z by Z, that is 1. We need not to worry about this. So you can write power value as E naught I naught by 2. Otherwise ERMS into IRMS, anything you can write. So as per the given question, E is equal to 200 sine 100 pi t. It is compared with the standard equation E naught sine omega t. Peak value of voltage is 200, omega is 100 pi. And you are given resistance value as 100 ohms. 100 ohms. Current is not given. So peak current is equal to peak voltage by impedance. Impedance is nothing but resistance here. Peak voltage is 200 by resistance is 100. So 2 amperes is the peak current. So power consumed is equal to peak voltage 200 into peak current 2 by 2. So that is 2 gets cancelled. 200 watts. So 200 watts is the power consumed in this circuit. Clearly you should understand AC voltage is applied to a resistance. It's a pure resistive circuit. In pure resistive circuit, impedance is equal to resistance. Then cos phi is equal to 1. So power consumed can be calculated by using this formula. I hope everybody understood what I discussed. One more problem. The potential difference across an appliance in an AC circuit of frequency F, AC circuit of frequency F is V, and the current flowing through it is I. Such that V is equal to 5 cos 2 pi f t volts. I is equal to 2 sine 2 pi of t amperes. The power dissipated in the appliance, the power dissipated in the appliance. This is the question. So, solution. If you observe, it is sine function, it is cos function. So, to have the clarity, I am keeping V as it is like that and making I as 2 cos pi of t plus pi by 2, because cos 90 plus theta is sin theta. Hence, there is a phase difference of pi by 2 between voltage and current. We need power. Power is E naught V naught by 2 cos phi. Peak value of voltage, V naught I naught by 2 cos phi. Peak value of voltage V naught, peak value of current is I naught. So 5 into 2 by 2 cos pi by 2. As cos 90 is 0, the power consumption is 0. That is 5 cos pi by 2, that is 0. So the power consumed in the circuit is 0. So this is the way in which we need to solve the problem based on power in alternating current circuit.